Reports from Paris that Diana, Princess of Wales, has been killed in a car accident.
What I've told you is the truth, but I've told you I've corrected myths and stories which have been gone before. I've told you what I witnessed, what I saw. I haven't told you everything.
The British monarchy's secrets are crumbling, and Princess Diana's former butler has just unleashed a revelation so explosive that Buckingham Palace is in full-blown damage control. With scandals already tarnishing the royal family's pristine facade, this latest bombshell threatens to unravel secrets they've kept hidden for decades.
I'm not going to say anything, babe.
But Prince Charles did give us a hint himself. He said we wouldn't have to wait too long.
What did Diana's trusted confidant reveal? And why is the royal family so desperate to keep it under wraps? As whispers grow louder and the palace scrambles to contain the fallout, one thing is clear: this news is going to be a game changer. Keeper of royal secrets. Paul Burrell wasn't your average royal butler. His role in Princess Diana's life went far beyond traditional duties. He was a confidant, a trusted ally who stood by her side for over a decade, from 1987 until her tragic death. Their relationship was built on trust, loyalty, and a bond that transcended the polished corridors of royal life. Burrell saw Diana in her most vulnerable moments, witnessing the fears and pressures that came with her role as the people's princess. But now, Burrell is spilling the tea. He claims Diana's death might not have been as straightforward as the official story suggests. Let's rewind to that fateful night. Diana and Dodi Fayed in a Paris tunnel, chased by paparazzi, their car crashing in a horrific scene. The official verdict? A drunk driver, Henry Paul, and a tragic accident. Case closed, or so we thought. Turns out, Burrell says we need to think again. In fact, he's reviving the whispers of conspiracy, pointing fingers at the possibility of powerful figures pulling strings behind the scenes. Sounds outrageous? Maybe. But surprisingly, Diana herself feared something like this might happen. She confided in friends, even wrote a chilling letter months before the crash, warning of a plot involving, you guessed it, a car accident. At the time, it was dismissed as paranoia. But now, Burrell's revelations force us to ask, was Diana's fear a premonition? Let's not forget Paul's own journey. At just 18, he walked into the gilded halls of Buckingham Palace as a footman, quickly catching the eye of Queen Elizabeth II herself. Within a year, he was serving at her private residence, earning a reputation for excellence among the staff. They even nicknamed him Small Paul to set him apart from another colleague. But don't let the nickname fool you. Paul Burrell's impact then and now is anything but small. So after a decade of unwavering service, Paul Burrell found himself at Highgrove House, the home of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Here, his connection with Diana blossomed into something extraordinary, a bond built on mutual trust and understanding. Her untimely death in 1997 left Burrell reeling, and in 2001, he took a surprising turn, stepping away from the royal spotlight to open a flower shop in Cheshire. Obviously, the move was a statement, one that drew immense public attention and reshaped his image entirely. And then 2 years later, his memoir, A Royal Duty, pulled back the velvet curtain, offering an unprecedented glimpse into his years serving the royal family. But Paul Burrell didn't just fade into the background. He embraced the public eye with gusto, appearing on hit TV shows like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and Inside the Keyhole. He even authored books like Entertaining with Style and In the Royal Manner, solidifying his place as a storyteller of royal life. Along the way, his dedication was recognized with prestigious honors, including the Royal Victorian Medal and the Royal Household Long and Faithful Service Medal. Yet, as much as his accolades sparkled, it's Burrell's insider perspective that continues to intrigue. So what really lay beneath the polished image of royal perfection? Burrell's revelations cast a shadow over the carefully curated facade, especially when it comes to Prince Charles. In a recent interview, Burrell weighed in on the Crown's portrayal of Charles as emotionally distant and uncaring, and he didn't hesitate to confirm its accuracy. According to Burrell, even during his marriage to Princess Diana, Charles struggled to provide her with the love and support she so desperately craved. As Diana's star rose and the public embraced her with adoration, the cracks in their marriage grew more apparent. Burrell recounts the deep pain Diana endured, feeling coldly sidelined by a husband she once believed in. What started as a fairy tale romance unraveled into a story of neglect and heartache, leaving Diana emotionally isolated. And then there are the letters, raw, intimate glimpses into her world. One in particular, written just 10 months before her tragic death, reveals a chilling fear that now feels hauntingly prophetic. Diana's words, shared with the man she trusted most, echo through the years, leaving us all to wonder what might have been. This letter, revealed by Paul Burrell years later, shattered any illusions of simplicity surrounding Princess Diana's tragic death. Written in October 1996, it contained a chilling revelation. Diana believed her life was in danger. That's right, she feared someone was plotting to orchestrate a car accident to harm her. It sounds like the stuff of fiction, but for Diana, this fear was very real. The letter, kept in Burrell's possession for years and notably absent from official investigations, offers a raw glimpse into the mind of a woman who, despite her public grace and adoration, felt deeply vulnerable. After her high-profile divorce from Prince Charles, Diana's glamorous exterior masked an inner world fraught with isolation and anxiety. Her words reflected the same unease she expressed during her infamous Panorama interview, a longing for safety, solace, and understanding. But this letter went further, laying bare a fear that has haunted the narrative of her death ever since. So what are we to make of this? Could Diana have been right? Was her tragic end just a cruel twist of fate? Or was there a more sinister hand at play? In her own words, "This period of my life feels very dangerous." She alleged that someone, identified only as X, was plotting to tamper with her car's brakes, leading to a crash that would claim her life through a fatal head injury. And the motive? To pave the way for Prince Charles to remarry.
We have reports from Paris that Diana, Princess of Wales, has been killed in a car accident.
The letter's unsettling details raise more questions than answers. Diana didn't name the person she suspected, but her fears ignited fresh speculation among those who never accepted the official account of her death. That fateful night in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel on August 31, 1997, ended in devastation. Diana, Dodi Fayed, and their driver, Henri Paul, all perished in the catastrophic crash. The official explanation? A deadly combination of high-speed driving, paparazzi in pursuit, and Henri Paul's alleged intoxication, compounded by his inexperience with the powerful Mercedes limousine. It was, they said, a tragedy born of recklessness and relentless media pressure. To many, the official account of Diana's death has always seemed too convenient, too sanitized. Mohammed Al-Fayed, father of Dodi Fayed, has been one of the most vocal skeptics, insisting the crash was no mere accident, but part of a calculated conspiracy involving the British royal family. And when Paul Burrell's letter surfaced, it was like fuel to the fire. Al-Fayed didn't just renew his calls for a public investigation, he demanded answers, insisting that the real story of that tragic night has yet to be told. His frustration deepened after Burrell's letter was exposed through the Daily Mirror. Al-Fayed openly questioned whether Burrell might be holding back even more explosive revelations. Could there be hidden truths, locked away for years, waiting to come to light? The possibility only stokes the flames of a mystery that has refused to fade into history. Burrell, for his part, hasn't exactly been a quiet observer. His tumultuous relationship with the royal family didn't end with his tell-all memoirs. When he faced prosecution in the early 2000s, some speculated it was a calculated attempt to silence him. If that was the goal, it backfired spectacularly. Instead of burying the story, the trial drew even more attention to the secrets that the royal family may have wanted to keep under wraps. And when the case fell apart, Scotland Yard collected a trove of evidence from Burrell, letters, tapes, even video recordings. None of these materials have ever been made public. So what else does Paul Burrell know? It's a question that lingers like an unsolved riddle. And while much of what Burrell knows remains hidden, his memoirs offer glimpses into the complex relationships and secrets within the royal family. Love, power, and betrayal. Some of the most intriguing pieces of information about the royal family come from Burrell's memoir. Like at one point, he recounts a letter from Prince Philip to Diana. In it, Philip reportedly expressed disbelief that anyone would leave Diana for Camilla. It's a bombshell revelation, challenging the widespread perception that Philip resented Diana. In fact, these letters suggest a far more nuanced dynamic, one where the Queen and Philip were deeply concerned about Charles and Diana's unraveling marriage. What's more, in A Royal Duty, Paul Burrell shares a hauntingly raw moment with Princess Diana that peels back the glittering veneer of royalty to reveal the vulnerable woman underneath. It was October 1996, just months after her divorce from Prince Charles, and Diana found herself on the staircase of Kensington Palace, pouring out her deepest fears. She spoke of Camilla Parker Bowles, the royal family's indifference, and the growing feeling that she was being cast aside. This wasn't the composed and radiant princess adored by the world. This was a woman grappling with anxiety, self-doubt, and the crushing weight of isolation. In that moment, she turned to one of the few people she trusted, laying bare her pain. But Diana's fears didn't end with matters of the heart. Burrell recounts a surreal chapter of paranoia that seemed ripped from the pages of a thriller. Together, they swept her Kensington Palace home, lifting carpets, moving furniture, hunting for hidden listening devices. Her fear of being watched consumed her, prompting her to consult a former intelligence officer in an attempt to safeguard her privacy. These frantic measures painted a picture of a woman deeply shaken, navigating a world she believed was closing in on her. For Diana, the line between reality and suspicion was growing dangerously thin. Of course, Burrell's unwavering loyalty to Diana has always sparked debate. To those who saw him as her most devoted ally, he was a guardian of her truth.
No, you don't.
Well, why don't you tell us?
I'm not going to tell you that.
But
I can't tell you everything.
But to others, particularly within royal circles, his motives were suspect. Why, they asked, did he hold on to the now infamous letter for so long? Was it truly about preserving her legacy, or something else? One insider even suggested Burrell believed the letter's value could skyrocket, a theory that has only fueled skepticism. The letter itself is a chilling window into Diana's post-divorce psyche. Her fears weren't just personal, they were existential. She felt vulnerable, targeted, and haunted by the belief that someone wanted her out of the picture. But these emotions weren't confined to whispers in her inner circle. During a trip to the United States, conspiracy theories surrounding Diana's death swirled, catching the attention of everyone from punk legend Johnny Rotten to Watergate whistleblowers like Gordon Liddy. Theories that once seemed far-fetched suddenly feel strangely plausible when viewed through the lens of Diana's own words. Well, these theories gained weight in the final months of her life, when Princess Diana refused to be silenced. She stepped boldly into controversies that shook the halls of power, using her influence to call out injustices and champion causes that many preferred to ignore. Her outspoken stance against landmines, her humanitarian efforts, and her willingness to address controversial topics made her a beacon of hope for millions, but also a thorn in the side of those invested in maintaining the status quo. And then there was her relationship with Dodi Fayed, a Muslim and Egyptian businessman, which sent shockwaves through certain circles. To some, this wasn't just a romance. It was a threat to the carefully curated image of the British monarchy. But was the relentless media frenzy truly the cause of her tragic death? Or, as Paul Burrell suggests, was the paparazzi chaos a smokescreen for something far more sinister? According to Burrell, the photographers who hounded Diana that fateful night might have been unwitting pawns in a larger conspiracy, orchestrated by those determined to see her silenced. And this wasn't just paranoia talking. Diana's fears weren't a secret. In fact, Burrell recalls her confiding in him time and time again, voicing her belief that powerful figures within the royal establishment wanted her gone. She once described herself as a lamb to the slaughter, a phrase that Burrell initially dismissed as melodramatic. But now looking back, those words feel chillingly prophetic. If true, Burrell's claims reveal a sinister web of corruption at the heart of the royal institution. The idea that one of the most beloved figures of the modern era, known for her compassion, kindness, and advocacy, could be viewed as a threat so serious that she needed to be eliminated is as heartbreaking as it is horrifying. Burrell suggests the motive was painfully clear: power, control, and protecting the monarchy's image at all costs. Diana's independence and global influence posed a challenge to the carefully controlled narrative of the royal family. Her love for Dodi, her humanitarian impact, and her refusal to be silenced may have made her too powerful, too disruptive for those clinging to tradition. If Burrell's version of events holds any truth, it's a devastating reminder of the lengths some may go to preserve power and the terrible price of challenging it. Diana's life and untimely death leave us with an unsettling question. How does an institution rooted in centuries of tradition adapt to a world demanding compassion, transparency, and change? Her story continues to challenge the monarchy, forcing it to reconcile its past with an uncertain future. Bridging tradition and change. At the time of her death, Princess Diana wasn't just a beloved figure. She was the heart of the royal family's connection to the world. She embodied a vision of the monarchy that was modern, compassionate, and deeply human, a sharp contrast to the Stoic tradition long associated with the institution. Diana's magnetic charm drew not only British subjects, but millions abroad, creating a bridge between the monarchy and the people. Her legacy as the people's princess has only grown stronger in the decades since her passing, amplified by the prominence of her sons, Princes William and Harry, who have become two of the royal family's most visible and influential members. But in the immediate aftermath of her tragic death, the royal family's response, or lack thereof, created a firestorm of criticism. The public grief for Diana was visceral, raw, and widespread. Yet the royal family's silence felt cold and detached to many. Historian Robert Lacey, author of Battle of Brothers, reflects on that moment as the monarchy's most significant crisis, a time when they were starkly at odds with the public. If you're looking for the moment when the British monarchy was most severely challenged and found itself most at odds with public opinion, it has to be following the death of Diana and the perception that the Queen and the royal family didn't care, he explains. This tension wasn't born overnight. Diana's charm and the relentless attention it drew from the media had long put her at odds with the royal establishment. Even before her divorce from Prince Charles, the coolness between Diana and the royal family was palpable. As Lacey notes, the headlines and media attention Diana generated was not approved by the Queen and the royal establishment. Her vibrant presence and ability to captivate the public weren't qualities embraced by an institution rooted in tradition and control. Now, even 25 years after her tragic death, Princess Diana's influence on the royal family remains unmistakable. From the sparkling engagement rings passed down to Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle, crafted from Diana's own jewelry, to the causes championed by her sons, Princes William and Harry, her legacy continues to shape the monarchy's evolution. Royal historians often point to initiatives like Heads Together, a mental health awareness campaign spearheaded by the princes, as emblematic of Diana's enduring ethos, a deep personal commitment to caring for others. Nowhere is her legacy more apparent than in how her sons engage with the world. Carolyn Harris, author of Raising Royalty, 1,000 Years of Royal Parenting, notes that both William and Harry carry forward their mother's empathy, particularly in their advocacy for vulnerable populations, those with disabilities, and individuals struggling with mental health. In 2023, for instance, Prince William and Kate Middleton visited a children's hospice in East Anglia, one that Diana herself opened in the 1980s. These moments highlight a through line of compassion that Diana introduced to the royal institution. As historian Robert Lacey puts it, one of the things that Diana introduced into modern royalty was the concept of conveying a sense of caring for people. But Diana's influence isn't just about her humanitarian efforts, it's also about her unapologetic honesty. The echoes of her groundbreaking 1995 BBC interview with Martin Bashir still resonate. In that candid conversation, Diana laid bare her personal struggles, discussing her battle with bulimia, her doubts about Prince Charles's fitness to be king, and her painful awareness of his affair with Camilla Parker Bowles. It was a seismic moment that rocked the monarchy, showcasing Diana's willingness to speak her truth no matter the cost. Today, the royal family continues to grapple with the fallout from tell-all interviews. The parallels are striking. In 2019, Prince Andrew gave a now infamous BBC interview about his connections to Jeffrey Epstein and allegations of sexual misconduct. The interview was widely condemned as disastrous, leading to Andrew stepping back from royal duties and later settling a lawsuit with his accuser. These interviews underscore a broader tension within the monarchy, one that Diana brought to the forefront: the clash between an institution steeped in secrecy and the modern demand for transparency. What's more, comparisons to Diana often surface when examining the tensions surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, particularly in light of their explosive 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey. During the interview, Markle revealed shocking concerns allegedly expressed by a member of the royal family regarding the potential skin color of their son, Archie. She also described the strain that toxic tabloid culture placed on Prince Harry's relationship with his father, Prince Charles. While both Diana and Meghan spoke out against the pressures and challenges of royal life, historian Robert Lacey argues that their approaches to the monarchy diverged. Diana, he suggests, maintained faith in the monarchy as a force for good, despite her struggles within it. Meghan, on the other hand, has been more openly critical of the institution itself. Lacey notes that while Harry and Meghan have captured global attention, they have not yet replicated the profound emotional connection Diana held with the British public, particularly in the wake of her death. He also contends that Diana, who cherished her sons deeply, would have been heartbroken by the rift that now divides them. That rift, however, has not dampened Harry's determination to protect Meghan from the relentless media scrutiny that mirrors what Diana endured. In his Oprah interview, Harry drew a direct line between the tabloid harassment of his mother and the treatment Meghan has faced since their relationship became public in 2016. His condemnation of the press reflects the protective instincts Diana instilled in him. Despite their differences, both William and Harry continue to honor their mother's legacy in deeply personal ways. During the 2022 Diana Award ceremony, which celebrates young activists making a difference, both princes reflected on the lessons they learned from their mother. Prince William emphasized the importance of recognizing people who dedicate themselves to helping others, calling it a fitting tribute to Diana's life and work. Meanwhile, Prince Harry spoke of the enduring impact Diana had on him, explaining, "My mother instilled in me, and in all of us, a drive to speak up and fight for a better world." Diana's spirit is evident in her son's actions. William's focus on service and duty, and Harry's outspoken advocacy for a fairer, more compassionate world. Her influence transcends their differences, reminding us of her unparalleled ability to inspire change and connect with people across divides. Through their words and efforts, her legacy remains alive. So what do you think? Is Diana's legacy helping to reshape the monarchy, or is it a reminder of how much further it still has to go? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the life and legacy of the People's Princess, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a story. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep Diana's legacy alive.